It was a dark, dreary day in Seattle, Washington. The kind of day that was filled with despair. Little did the people know that the despair was going to come to them in tenfolds. The day seemed like it was going on forever. People were in a mood. Just when you think it couldn't get any worse, all of a sudden, a tornado decides to make it landfall, and the tornado sirens start going off. Only these were not typical tornado sirens, my friends, no. These tornado sirens, my friends, were, well, in the forms of a moan and a groan. A tornado is coming! A tornado is coming! But by the time the sirens went off, it was too late. The moans and the groans from the sirens seemed to only fuel the storm inside him. Him being the tornado. A new passion was forming. A new intimate bond with the earth's crust, so to speak. The tornado was fully aroused. It reached climax and touched the ground with a force so powerful you couldn't walk straight for a week after. The powerful thrusts and the high winds produced by this massive beast of a man took down lots of homes and ultimately destroyed lots of businesses, and ultimately ended a few marriages in the end. This was one of the most powerful storms in modern US history. It was one of the biggest storms of them all. Bigger and bigger it got. It got bigger and bigger and bigger. And it just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Until it was the next Pompeii the last day. The tornado only picked up in intensity once it reached the ground, whipping and beating everything in its path. You have been naughty. You have been naughty. I'm going to teach you a lesson now, the tornado mumbles to itself. Just then a girl by the name of Amelia was initially captivated by the scientific intrigue of such a phenomenon, and soon discovered a dangerous obsession. She would chase the storm, venturing into the heart of its fury, feeling a strange sense of exhilaration and lust as she danced in the edge of devastation. The dark funnel, in its chaotic way, seemed to respond to her, his movements echoing in the turmoil within her. The dark funnel was a force of nature that both terrified and excited Amelia to her core. It was a powerful, unpredictable entity that could destroy anything in its path, yet she couldn't resist its pull. His pull was immaculate, ever so sweet, ever so pure. His touch and embrace as he destroys everything she owns in an act that could only be described as heaven sent. She would study the weather patterns meticulously, tracking his trajectory, almost as if she were trying to understand the mind of a dangerous lover. As Amelia became more deeply entangled with the dark funnel, she began to feel a strange, deep connection, a sense of deep love and intimacy with the storm. She would watch its violent dance, the way it twisted and turned, thrusting with its every might, sometimes seemingly to taunt her with its unpredictable nature. The fear that should have consumed her was replaced by a thrilling sense of control and pleasure, a feeling that she was somehow in sync with the storm's destructive power. However, as Amelia's obsession with the dark cloud grew, so did the consequences. Her reckless pursuit of the tornado put her lives and the lives of others at risk. She began to neglect her work and her relationships and her own well-being, all in the name of experiencing the raw, untamed energy and the moist rain produced by the dark funnel. And that, my friends, is the story about the day that the tornado touched down in Seattle, Washington.